Welcome to the third episode of Know the Player, Tell the Story, hosted by me, Dante Furco. You may know these players, but do you know their stories and how they got to where they are now? I'm going to dig deeper and find more about these athletes and how being a New York State athlete shaped them. Today, I am so excited to be alongside Latavius Murray of the Baltimore Ravens, as well as former running back of the New Orleans Saints, Minnesota Vikings, and a Pro Bowl running back with the Oakland Raiders. Latavius graduated from Onondaga Central High School in Syracuse, New York. All right, so we have Latavius Murray of the Baltimore Ravens on, and so the whole point of this is to talk about how you got to where you are now, being a New York athlete. So let's take it back from the beginning. Was football the first sport you fell in love with?
No, it was basketball at first. I think I was just introduced to basketball earlier. Introduced to basketball first, and so that probably was the first sport. And then, but then introduced to football like about third grade, and and then from then on, I fell in love with that for sure.
Were those the two sports you only played?
Yeah, basketball, football for the most part. I ran track once.
Okay.
But basketball and football.
Awesome. How'd you get pushed into football?
I didn't get pushed into it. I just it was kids that I was going to school with at the time. They were playing. I seen they had jerseys, and I really was like, dang, like what they doing? Okay, they playing football. Man, I wanna do that. I want to be a part of that. So I just kind of asked my mom or try to maybe, I don't know if I would try to talk to a coach or something, and so he came by and convinced my mom, let me play and sign up.
That's awesome. Growing up, what was your dream? Was it to play football or was it to do something else?
I think I wanted to be I think I wanted to be a professional athlete. Like I wanted to, whether that was play in the NBA or I wanted to play in the NFL. I think I wanted to, be a professional athlete just growing up. And so, that was probably my dream.
And you achieved that, obviously.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. If you don't mind me asking, who's your favorite team growing up? If you can answer that.
Yeah, no, I like the Jaguars growing up. And it's weird. I think I really liked them because of their colors.
Of course.
They just had some swag. Like the color, the teal was real cool. The black pants with the all black with some of the teal. Then the Jag. And then Fred Taylor was my favorite running back. So
okay.
The reason why I chose to wear 28 and then. Yeah, the Jags early on.
I think a lot of people are kind of in that same boat. They just love the Jaguars jerseys. I think the color combinations are great. I even have one of my own, and that's not even my team. But so you went to Onondaga Central. How did having a guy like Mike Hart, coming from the same school you did, influence you and push you to want to be better? And kind of also, what wisdom did he give you, if you guys ever talked while you were in high school? That pushed you?
Yeah. First, like seeing somebody, that, going to the same school, and then going out there, balling like he was in high school and having, all the success and just, just balling. It was like, I don't know. It was just, it was just crazy to see firsthand. And then, so for him to obviously go on and then, play, college and pros just was just kind of gave me that first like bit of like, dang, and this can happen to us around here, like we can really do it. And so a lot of motivation I got from that as a kid, and just seeing it right in front of me, starting with him. And we never really, I don't know, I guess more so we were friends, so it wasn't always football talk, but I just learned just how he went about football. He loved the game, and he worked hard, and I noticed that about him, and I definitely learned a lot.
Did you ever watch his film and kind of try to change your game to be like him?
I mean, you definitely watch the film, and I I grew up watching him play, but he was just a smaller back and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
some of the stuff I would try to do, I really couldn't do it. But he just had a, obviously made guys miss. He was quick.
Mm-hmm.
Just had the craziest plays, cutting back field. I tried that a few times. So yeah, he was just an exciting player to watch in high school.
Oh, that's awesome. Obviously, you're a pretty good high school player, I would say. How active were college coaches in recruiting you, and which colleges were the most active?
Um, well, I had ultimately ended up with 5 offers, and
Mm.
so, but there was interest, but when it comes down to it, it's just like who's the ones that want to give you your shot, and so
Mhm.
um, Syracuse was my first, and I believe I can't really remember the others falling in order, but um, I knew I wanted to get away from home, and I felt that UCF, it gave me the best opportunity, one, to play running back, but also be a part of creating history.
Mhm. How was your experience at UCF, both on the field and off the field?
Yeah, it was good. It was, we accomplished just what I said. Like, um, where that program was, when I was coming in, and to where it is now.
Mhm.
That's the reason why we went there. I think all of us, was to try to build and create that. Um, and then uh, I forget what was the other, question you asked me.
Um,
Um,
I think how it was like off the field,
Oh, and
in
then
terms of your
off the field,
experience.
yeah, off the field, had a lot of fun, man.
Mhm.
Wasn't far from where I had family from in Florida. Just met a lot of friends, met a lot of great people. Orlando, that's my
Mhm.
birthplace, so also had that connection there.
Cool. Do you visit there a lot now?
Well, I live there in the off season now, so it's
Okay.
home now even for me. So yeah, you could say I fell in love with Orlando. Yeah.
Cool. I think I remember you modeling for the New Jerseys, right?
Right, right. Yeah. When I was
Yeah.
home, that was actually the day
Mhm.
before I ended up signing with Baltimore. So.
That's cool. Um, so after your time at UCF, you were heading into draft weekend. What was your mindset? Did you have a team that you hoped would take you, following like pre-draft workouts, or were you kind of just open-minded and ready to go anywhere?
Yeah, I was open minded, ready to go. Yeah, like I took pre draft visits, Arizona, uh, the Raiders,
Hmm.
Detroit, um, yeah, and so Cincinnati, and I was, I just wanted to hear my name called.
Hmm.
Again, even up until that point, it's like, you know, going into the draft, and I just didn't expect it, right? Like for me, it was all still just
Hmm.
surreal, and so, the day my name was called, it was just crazy, man. Just a dream come true.
Hmm. Was there any worry that maybe you wouldn't get drafted?
Yeah, without a doubt. Like I wasn't. I had good numbers my senior year, and I didn't get a combine invite. So pro day, I had a really good pro day.
Hmm.
So there's just some concern again when the NFL was kind of in your mind, it's like never being something that can really happen. You're
Hmm.
gonna go in there with some, if you want to call it negativity or just discouragement. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But again, it was a dream come true to hear my name called, and
Yeah.
so I'll never forget that day. And obviously, if it wasn't called, I was still gonna do whatever I needed to do to try and make a name for myself.
Hmm. So you ended up getting drafted by the Raiders. What were your expectations going into that season? As well as what were your first thoughts about it was Oakland at the time, going there for the first time and playing.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. Didn't know what to expect. I knew they were, had some bad, previous few years, and we're trying to, rebuild and create a culture, and get back to the old school days of Raider football. And so I was
Hmm.
just excited about that, right? The underdog story. And so just went there with the, mindset of just getting to work. And um, my first year I had to, sit out due to the ankle injury, but um, it kind of all worked out for me when
Yeah.
things got going.
Yeah. What other I'm trying to remember back, what other running backs were there at the time when you got drafted?
Well, when I got drafted, we had Taiwan Jones, Darren McFadden,
Hmm.
and I think they just had brought in Rashad Jennings,
Okay.
um, Maurice Jones-Drew. So it was a mixture of some older vets there when I got there.
Hmm. You had a great season with the Raiders. You ended up being named to the Pro Bowl. What was that like, to be, I guess, rewarded for your success and your hard work? What was that like?
It felt good, man. It was a great experience, a cool experience to play in a Pro Bowl. It was in Hawaii, so
Hmm.
I knew from growing up, man, the Pro Bowl, Hawaii, just that whole experience. So being able to bring out my family, my brother, friends, and enjoy that with them, that was a lot of fun and definitely something I won't forget.
That's really cool to hear. So in 2017, you signed with the Minnesota Vikings. How did Minnesota sell you on playing there, which ultimately led to your departure from Oakland?
Well, another player that I have a lot of respect for, and a future Hall of Famer at the running back position, obviously had a lot of success there, Adrian Peterson. And so
Hmm.
I went in there with that mindset of like, okay, this is a team that's ran the ball over the years, and so I had an opportunity to go there and do that. And so um, yeah, that was definitely the biggest selling point.
Hmm. I remember. I remember that night very clearly when you signed with Minnesota. I don't know what time it was there, but I remember it was about like 2 a.m. here, maybe. It was late at night, and I remember seeing the notification. I was like, awesome, because
Yeah.
you're from New York. To be honest, I'm a Vikings fan, so that's why that was big for me when I saw that. So that was really cool. You kind of touched on a little bit. How much did Minnesota's development of AP, going from a running back from Oklahoma to a Hall of Fame running back, lead to your signing and like ensure you that you're going to the right place?
Um, Again, I think what they were gonna let him go for the first time that season, and so
Hmm.
obviously they wanted someone that was a big bag, physical, downhill runner, all the things that he's been, and so um, it just made sense. And then when the team's well, I was in free agency and I also needed surgery, and I got
Hmm.
that right away. So I was transparent with them on what I had to be done, and they accepted me, and so that relationship is it was great, and had a
Hmm.
lot of trust in them, and I wanted to be there.
Yeah. So you wore 28 with the Raiders. Did you not wear 28 with Minnesota in respect for Adrian Peterson?
Yeah, I did, and it also gave me an opportunity to be able to tribute a friend of mine who passed away, and he wore that number in high school.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah. So this season, it's kind of been a little different for you than any other season. You and the Saints parted ways following training camp in the preseason, and you ultimately ended up signing with the Ravens. When you parted ways with the Saints, did you know and feel you were going to get an opportunity somewhere else, or were you a little worried you may not get a call?
No, I wasn't worried. I believe that I still had a lot left.
Hmm.
And so no, I wasn't worried at all.
That's good. I remember seeing a quote that you right away you were interested in the Ravens because they had just lost running backs, and it was a perfect position for you to be in. Did you feel that the Ravens were a perfect fit for you?
Well, yeah, most definitely. Well, yeah, most definitely, especially with the injuries and um, and needing a running back. Look, what was important to me, and the reason why I left New Orleans apart. I didn't accept a pay cut, but I wanted to play. I wanted to be out
Hmm.
there and be able to contribute. And I don't think I would have got that opportunity in New Orleans, and so that's why I said no. And so again, but the opportunity in Baltimore kind of just timing. And so
Mhm.
it definitely was the place for me.
Yeah, and in Baltimore right now, you have a very experienced backfield, Devontae Freeman, Le'Veon Bell. Is there anything you guys are sort of, I guess, teaching each other? You all have so much experience. Is there anything you're learning from each other to get better?
Yeah, I mean, just in practice and watching each other and how we run our drills, just seeing each other's style. I think we're able to learn in that way itself. And we've all had success. We all
Mhm,
do things better than the other guys can do. So
mhm.
definitely, eat that up and um, you know, appreciate that and try to take that and put it into your game for sure.
Yeah. So you missed last game with an ankle injury. How are you feeling now?
Feeling good. Feeling good. Still just taking it one day at a time and kind of see what happens.
Mhm. If you don't mind me asking, should we expect you on the field this weekend?
We'll take it one day at a time and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, to be determined.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you got a chance to watch Monday Night Football with Derek Gorhead, an impressive night for them. He is a Syracuse native. Do you stay in contact with guys who grew up in Syracuse? And do you guys kind of bounce ideas off each other and work out together?
Yeah, you talking about Derek from Kansas City?
Yes.
Yeah. So I didn't know him growing up, and I just met
Mhm.
him. When he was out in San Diego, we actually met face to face. So
Cool.
um, we just I just communicate and just hit him up, encouragement, and it's just good to see someone from the area that's going out there and doing what no one expected us to do. And I
Yeah.
know he knows what it's like. He's from the area. I know the feeling. So I'm just happy for him that he gets to feel that and experience that.
And I think I might be wrong, but I think you two are the only Central New York uh, players in the NFL. At least I could think off the top of my head, which I think makes it even more special. And also, you're both running backs.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so maybe Central New York breeds very good running backs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Stevie
playing for
Scott was Stevie Scott was on the roster, but I'm
yes.
not sure if he is still with the Broncos or not.
Mhm. So playing football at Central Florida and in the NFL, it's a major jump from playing sports in New York. Looking back, how did being a New York athlete shape you?
Um, well, I mean, look, it's hard to say. The game of football is definitely different, outside of upstate New York.
Hmm.
And so, um, you're talking about the 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 group of talented players, the abundance of talented players at some of these other states. Is just it's crazy. So it was some talented players and kids that I played with, in high school. But
Hmm.
I definitely know, like, there are a lot more, um, especially in a league, in a state, when you're talking about states like Texas and Florida. So,
Hmm.
but I think my size, my ability, I definitely had to dominate in my league and continue to just work on my game as I got to Central Florida.
Hmm.
Improve my game, develop, get better, just put the work in. And I think I did that because I think my game has done nothing but, transcend into just being a better running back. I think I was just a big athlete out there in upstate
Yeah.
New York.
Yeah. So last week I spoke to a football player in Nebraska who grew up in Syracuse as well, and he said being a New York athlete, you always had to work 10 times harder, and you didn't get, some states down south they play football year round. They play in the spring and in the fall, but in New York it's mainly just the fall. Would you agree with that? Do you have to work 10 times harder?
Yeah, I just think like it's just different, right? Like how the game of football to people in those states means, it may mean a lot more. It's just it's better weather, right? So yeah, you can play year
Hmm.
round. There's spring ball and it's just so. I think a lot of teams now are trying to start to incorporate that more and more. But you definitely got to just you put the work in. But for all I knew, that was what the normal was. I didn't know that
Mhm.
kids were playing football in the spring and all that. Now looking back now, of course, but that's all we
Mhm.
knew was the grind that we put in.
Yeah. Looking back, in high school, college, or maybe the beginning of your NFL career, is there anything you would have done different in your whole process?
No, it's hard to say that. It's hard to say that because no, I think everything that I am today, I had to kind of go through and experience. But you know, um, I didn't expect to be where I'm at right now, and um, just glad I stuck with it and just kind of worked hard and didn't let any of the ups and downs kind of persuade me.
Mhm. Good, good. Well, before we wrap up, let's take a minute away from football. I want to ask you some questions. Feel free to answer one word, answer in detail, whatever works with you.
Mhm.
So let's say Lamar Jackson's visiting Syracuse. Where is the one place you are telling him to eat?
Oh man, um, that's messed up because it's some good places to eat, man, and so I could either go with um. I'm not gonna say just one. I'm not.
Okay, okay,
Oh, I say
that's
Robbie
fair.
T's to get some pizza. Again, that's like family. Um,
Hmm.
I love possibilities.
Of course, of course.
Dinosaur,
Hmm.
Rong Chang is my favorite Chinese spot in the world.
Yeah, I know exactly where that is.
You got to get Gannon, so I'll always say
Of
that.
course. Well,
Yeah.
that's a perfect segue into my next question. I was going to ask, what's your favorite flavor of Gannon's ice cream?
I go with hard ice cream and cookie dough. That's just kind of my
Okay.
go-to.
Yes,
Yeah,
I love their cookie dough. So that's the same for me.
yeah,
What do you like to do in the off season? That isn't football. Do you have any hobbies or maybe business ventures that you work on?
yeah. So I'm involved in working with a company called Endorphin, and it's a nutrition
Hmm.
company, innovative nutrition company. So work with them, and then for the most part, man, I'm a family man
Hmm.
with my kids, with my wife, uh, with friends, family, just hanging out, enjoying it, and trying to keep the body right.
Cool, cool. So I got to ask, is it colder in Syracuse or Minnesota?
Minnesota.
Really?
Yeah, a lot more snow in Syracuse, but Minnesota is cold. Minnesota's
Nice.
cold. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I only know here, so I'm not sure, but it's freezing here.
yeah, Minnesota takes the cake.
Nice. So, what do you want to do after football? When football is all over and your career is done, do you know what you want to do?
So much I want to do, but I just hope I'm involved with whatever it is my kids are doing, so I can
Hmm.
be there and watch that, experience that. Um, hopefully I'm involved in my community, involved with the youth,
Hmm.
and just trying to give kids like myself an opportunity to live out the dream that I did.
Yeah. Do you have any interest in coaching?
I would. I think I would. I think I would. Because I naturally, with my daughter this past off season, she got into basketball for the first time. I found myself being out there a little bit, just trying to help
Hmm.
with drills and stuff. So
Cool.
I think naturally I would.
Okay. What's your favorite opposing stadium to play in?
Favorite opposing? Um, uh, no, I don't. I mean, I don't like ever playing away,
Fair.
but and better than silence in a crowd. I'm not sure. I know, like Kansas City. That's a you know,
Hmm.
Philly. Philly is hostile. If we want, like, that's a better question. What's the most hostile stadium? Philly
Fair,
is
and it's
hostile.
Philly.
Philly is hostile. Yeah.
Fair. So I got to ask this. Have you ever heard Justin Tucker sing opera?
Just their videos, not live.
Really?
Yeah, just
Ah,
the videos. Yeah, but
he's a good singer from what I've listened to.
yeah,
He's a good singer. So he's got that hidden talent.
he's a funny guy, man. Real.
Really.
Yeah, he's one of a kind, man.
All right. So last but not least, my final question. Let's say Coach Harbaugh asks the team which jersey you want to wear for the next game, white, purple, or black. Which one is getting your vote?
The black are clean. The black,
They are clean.
yeah, the black are clean. So you can't go wrong with that. Can't go
Yeah.
wrong with black. Black, my favorite color. Black on now. Yeah, black is it.
Cool. Yeah, I love the black jerseys. They are clean. But that's pretty much all I have. I really appreciate you coming on
Absolutely.
and talking. And you're a New York athlete, a Central New York athlete, and you take a lot of pride in that. And I think what's cool is that we take a lot of pride in you as well. You're from where we grew up, and you lived out your dream of playing in the NFL. And I think it helps other people who want to live out, say that dream or a dream similar. So I think that's really cool.
All right, a lot of respect, and that's what it's all about, man. And whatever I can do to help, so I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So good luck with your season. I look forward to seeing you back on the field. But that is all on Know the Player and Tell the Story. Thank you to Latavius Murray. I'm Dante Furco, and we'll see you next time.